should be given this power of approval, distinguished Senator Muma, that NACADA should be given opportunity to, let us not give powers to cabinet secretaries. You know, Mr. Speaker, I think in the principle of French Revolution, they say absolute power corrupts absolutely. So if you give one cabinet secretary, imagine a cabinet secretary who is too religious, he might decline in approving. And you know, we have even cults like Shakaola and many others. I've seen another one where I'm told that the husband and the wife should not sleep on the same bed, Mr. Speaker, or they should not, the children should not be fed. So if you get a cabinet secretary, God forbid, who doesn't believe in smoking, what will happen? And you know, this is somebody's business. They are Kenyan. So let us not give cabinet secretary a lot of sweeping powers. Let us give it to the board so that it is subjected. Even when you are being declined license, you can appeal, Mr. Speaker. Also on this, even advertisement, an approval process, let us give it to the board called National Control Alcoholic Board, or even another board. There are so many boards that can do it. Even we can come up with a board where Ministry of Health, Cabinet Secretary nominates, NACADA nominates, counties nominates, so that we have a balance, Mr. Speaker, so that Mr. Speaker, I saw there were issue of banning products by Tanzanian government of Kenyan products, Mr. Speaker. I hope they will include also the issue of e-cigarettes and selling among East Africa, Mr. Speaker. While the principle of banning businesses is not good, because it is not good, it violates the East Africa trade protocols, because we need to encourage each other. We need to interdepend. And you saw President William Ruto and President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the elder of East Africa, having a conversation of trade. So what Tanzania did is quite unfortunate, because we live, Mr. Speaker, I know of senior government officials for Tanzania who their children are schooling in Kenya. So if you start creating boundaries like colonials did, Mr. Speaker, you might need to ban even them from getting the schools. I think what they should have banned, Mr. Speaker, is to ban the ill-behaved activists who went to disrupt their peace. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of this is banning because the cabinet secretary, can we put a board? So that, you know, there is unfair competition in business. You remember, Mr. Speaker, I was in a primary campus then, and there was a lot of hue and cry. I know Senator Katuri might have been around then, Mr. Speaker, and there were accusations that members of parliament were being taken by an agency interested with violating the tobacco bill then. They were taken to Mombasa for retreat. And what came out was hue and cry. So we don't want, Mr. Speaker, to give it to one power so that they can abuse. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, is on the issue of advertisement, so that, Mr. Speaker, is on the issue of places. I'm happy that institutions of basic education, so teachers should be aware of this. I know there are a number of teachers who are accompanying students before us. Mr. Speaker, they should be aware. I know some of them might be smoking, Mr. Speaker. They should be aware that you cannot smoke in basic education training, places of worship, of course, Mr. Speaker. I don't think anyone would want to smoke in places of worship, unless that's a different place, because I know mosques and churches, people rarely smoke. The only smoke you are allowed is the smoke of Holy Spirit. Mr. Speaker, on hospitals, clinics, and other health institutions, I think it doesn't make sense, Mr. Speaker, to children's home, children care facility, children playgrounds, I agree. Mr. Speaker, what I found it weird is residential houses. So if the father and mother are smoking, what will happen to the children, and they are living in the same room? How will we enforce that, Senator Muma? I think you will teach us. Or will the children be reporting that dad and mom are smoking, and therefore, I don't know, it's a bit dicey to implement that one. I don't know what you are thinking around it. Maybe when you do reply, you can educate us, because I know parents who maybe, in fact, Mr. Speaker, when you go to some family homes, they even have a cabinet. They have prepared a cabinet where they stock hard substances that is not milk or water or anything that is near there. On public service vehicles, Mr. Speaker, I agree. On police cells, Mr. Speaker, I don't know if there is anybody who smokes in police cells. I thought cigarettes are contraband, because I used to chair JLAC, and I was remanded in committee and a number of police stations, Mr. Speaker, I never saw it. Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks, allow me to support at that point. Thank you.
Before I call the next senator to take on the floor, allow me to make this communication. I'd like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon of visiting teachers and students from St. Mary Nyangwa Girls Secondary School in Embu County. The delegation comprises 60 students and 4 teachers were in the Senate for a one-day academic exposition. Honorable Senators, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming guests to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. I will call upon the Senator for Embu County under 1 minute to extend a word of welcome.
Thank you, Bwana Speaker, kwa kunipa nafasi niweze kukaribisha shule ya ACK St. Mary's Nyangwa Girls kwa hii kikao. Yangu ni kusema wanafunzi mjifunze vizuri, kwa sababu hapa katika Senate unaona kama hapa upande hii kuko na msichana, hata kama ni mama ni senator na ambaye amesomea Embu County. Nataka nimhakikishie kama mtasoma vizuri, wakati mwingine ninyi mtakuwa maseneta na pia mtakuwa hata speaker na pia mtakuwa hata rais, lakini mkiweka mchezo hamtapata hizo vitu. Yangu tu ni kumkaribisha hapa. Mambo yetu katika Senate huwa tunaongea mambo ya devolution katika counties, vile pesa inakuja masinani. Kama wakati huyu maseneta wamepigania kaunti zote 47, tumepata bilioni 415. Ndio mambo ya masinani, mambo ya agriculture, mambo ya maji na pia vitu zingine iweze kuwa kule masinani. Mambo mengine huwa tunachangia hapa ni vile kama cabinet secretaries wakishindwa kufanya kazi, tunawaleta hapa, tunauliza counties kazi inafanyika namna gani. Kwa hivyo saa hii mmekuta mbilo ambaye inahusikana na mambo ya vitu kama sigara, vitu kama hizo iweze kuwa inalainishwa, na pia mambo mengine amkukuta ni mambo ya dawa ya kulevya na pangi. Mjiepushe hizo vitu, na mkijiepusha wakati mwingine ni nyinyi leaders wa kesho. Kwa hivyo ni karibu Bwana Speaker, najua unajua huko wakati mmoja wewe ulitembea huko ukiwa mgeni masuburi kwa ile diocese of Mbere. Ni asanti. Kwa hivyo mkirundi Embu County diocese of Mbere, mseme mmeingia pahali ambapo speaker anafanya kazi na maseneta wale wengine. Pia Bwana Speaker, kwa dakika moja ningeomba hii senator aweze kuchangia tu, kwa sababu wale wachana wanafunzi waweze kuona ati hata hao wanaweza. Asante Bwana Speaker.
Senator Mundigi, your request has been declined. Senator Tabitha Mutinda, you may take to the floor to contribute to the bill. While doing so, you may extend a word of welcome to the girls.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, my neighbor, Senator Mundigi, for the kind request. I also want to take this great opportunity to welcome you to this house. It's the upper house, the Senate. I'm a product of St. Anne's Girls Career in Embu County. I pursued my 4 years there. The English that I speak, the excellency that I have, is from the great county of Embu. It's a county that when it comes to matters of education, it's very top-notch. I wish you the best. I wish you excellence. I wish you God's guidance. Respect your teachers and enjoy your studies. God bless you. Mr. Speaker, allow me to start by really thanking our colleague, none other than Senator Catherine Muma, for this great bill, Mr. Speaker, the Tobacco Control Bill. It's a bill, Mr. Speaker, that where we are as a country is really going to change a lot if we correctly implement the changes that need to be implemented, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in Article 1 or 2 of this particular bill, the definition of smoking has really been well defined, Mr. Speaker. And it has also gone to part 2, where it has also talked about the tobacco products. Mr. Speaker, the sponsor of the bill, Senator Kathy, I realized when I went through this bill that our focus was more on the e-cigarette, away from the traditional cigarette, if I would call it like that, the cigarette that has been in the market, that has been there for years. And she's trying to ensure that we legislate correctly and put regulations as far as the e-cigarette is concerned, Mr. Speaker. E-cigarette, Mr. Speaker, in my view, is the synthetic nicotine that has gone through a manufacturing process and that is also smoked in a digital, fancy, classy, modern way by a big market share, and that is the young generation. Mr. Speaker, part 2 that says that synthetic nicotine formulations intended for use by smoking, inhalation, chewing. Part B has defined the e-cigarette, how it is put into the market. It is through chewing gums, it's through inhalation, sniffing, vaping, sucking, and it comes in forms of tubes, filters, Mr. Speaker, electronic delivery system, Mr. Speaker. And this is where the catch is, because with this kind of gadgets that are already in the market, that our young people are using, Mr. Speaker, you realize there is no regulation on these e-cigarettes, Mr. Speaker. They have flooded the market, they are already here, but they have no control. Anybody, even children as young as 10 years, have access to these particular cigarettes, have access and are able to easily, within their friendship circles, be able to show each other how to be able to use this, Mr. Speaker, which, Mr. Speaker, it has enhanced penetration of the product into the market massively with minimal control, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if this product is today allowed to continue the way it is, where it is today, Mr. Speaker, we will be allowing our children to continue accessing a product that not only affects them in the health manner, in terms of we know what cigarettes do or what nicotine does to the health system, it's very endangering. The third part is that its accessibility to the young people is sort of 100% today as we speak. Mr. Speaker, as I looked at the bill, still clause 2, part C, talks about characteristics of flavors. And the bill has defined and talked about the issue of flavors, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, these products, when I've Googled them, I find that they have different flavors. For example, we have strawberry, we have vanilla, all those kind of sweet flavors. And these flavors are the ones that are bringing the desire, are also enhancing the young people to keep on purchasing these products, and also are making it difficult for the guardians and the parents to be able even to know if their kids are smoking. As compared to the old cigarette or the traditional cigarette, Mr. Speaker, if you smoke a traditional cigarette, definitely you can be able to have a feel of the air or smell of the air that this person was smoking something. But with the e-cigarette, because of the sweet flavors that are in place, it is very difficult for a parent or a guardian to even know if their kid has started indulging in this particular type of cigarette. And so in my view, Senator Kathy, this issue of flavor should be scrapped off. The e-cigarette should retain its traditional nicotine. The e-cigarette should have that original smell of the nicotine so that it becomes easy to be able to identify when these young people are smoking these products. or even those adults that are smoking, because we've seen adults who are also changing from the traditional nicotine to the e-cigarette, and it becomes sometimes difficult for even someone to be able to identify that this person is actually smoking anything. So the flavors, the bill should actually allow that these flavors should be no more, should not be actually allowed to be part of the product that is in the market, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I continue, there's the other issue of regulation. Today, as we speak, the traditional cigarette has regulations. The Act is very clear, actually. There is a ban that you cannot buy just one stick of the cigarette. You have to buy it in a full packet. It's never sold as a single stick. It is sold in a full packet. 2, it is not just sold anywhere. It is sold in a designated, like when we go to the supermarkets, you find that it is in just one area for above 18, where there is alcohol and cigarettes are put there. That's where they are actually secluded. They are put in a different place. These are some of the regulations that are in place. So the regulation for the e-cigarette should be a different regulation. There should be regulation in regards to the e-cigarette separate from the traditional cigarette. These regulations should be separated, because those years when we did the Tobacco Act, the e-cigarette was not in place. So we cannot assume and say the same regulations that are in place for the traditional cigarette should be the same that should be used for the e-cigarette that is in place, Mr. Speaker. So they have to have the synthetic nicotine and the traditional nicotine need to all have their own separate regulations, because they are different products. As much as the end product is nicotine, but the placement or the way the product has been packaged is very different. So it can't have similar regulations. Part 6, Mr. Speaker, Section 12 of this bill, Part A, Part B, talks about implementation of tax policies where appropriate, the prices, the policies, tobacco products, and all that. Mr. Speaker, when I looked at these 6A, 2, 3, and 1, talks about the issue of taxation. And I would prefer, or I would advise, my opinion would be that the issue of taxation be dealt with by Treasury. If room is opened in terms of the amount of nicotine milligram per milliliter, that there be different, taxations, then there might be corruption that might be brought, whereby the manufacturers might be able to indicate a lower milligram so that to pay lesser taxation, but in the real sense, probably it is on a higher level. So when it comes to the issue of taxation of the policies and all that of the e-cigarette, let National Treasury be able also to guide with the same guidance that they have also done as far as the alcohol products are concerned, because of course there is a way, there's a policy that is in place currently. Definitely is a policy in regards to the traditional nicotine. So as far as this e-cigarette, let it not be so separate from how things should be, or how National Treasury has been doing and advising as far as the issue of taxation is concerned, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I continue to read the bill, I came across the issue of the product approval and testing, Mr. Speaker. And the mover of the bill, Senator Kathy, talked about that Ministry of Health does the approval, the testing, and all that. But in my view, Mr. Speaker, the testing of nicotine, the standardization should be done by the Kenya Bureau of Standards, KEBS, Mr. Speaker, because they are the ones who have the machinery, they are the ones who have the technical know-how, who have the skills, who have the personnel to be able to guide when it comes to the issue of the standard of the e-cigarette, Mr. Speaker. Then there is the other point when it comes to approval by the ministry. That is okay, Senator Kathy, that would make sense because after the standards have been done by KEBS, who are mandated to guide in terms of the standards, then that should now be approved by the ministry. The ministry now will be left with the issue of just approval, but not with the issue of testing, Mr. Speaker. And further to that, I saw on, this part is which one, Mr. Speaker? It's, I saw a 50% of the amount that is going to be paid for either testing or approval. Yes, Part 4. Part 4 ADA, 50% of the fees paid for testing and approval for products under Section 14E. Now, in my view, Mr. Speaker, today we have budget for the Tobacco Board that is provided for by the National Treasury, and not in small amounts, billions, Mr. Speaker. And this money, or this fund, is used to, for awareness and all those kind of things, and we really do not see much happening. And from where we are, we know the disadvantages of smoking, we know the disadvantages of tobacco, we know the health issues that come also with smoking, Mr. Speaker. What am I trying to say? Mr. Speaker, the 50% that the sponsor has suggested, that is the fee that is being paid for testing or approval, now, an amendment should be which suggests that this 50% can be added to SHA as a health insurance fund, but narrowing it to the cases of either lung cancer and things like that, the diseases that are brought about by smoking, Mr. Speaker. This fund will be able to help that the people who, become sick, get the effects of smoking and all that, this fund can be able to help them in their health, whatever sector, instead of this money again be given to the board for them to keep on doing an awareness that we don't even no longer see. We don't even know what they really are doing. Because even when the e-cigarette came into the market, we've not seen the tobacco board do anything. We've not seen them come out, talk about it. They've not seen them giving guidance to the young people as far as the effects of this tobacco is concerned, Mr. Speaker. So this 50% should be added to SHA so as to be able to help as far as the funding for the health insurance is concerned, Mr. Speaker. The other thing I noticed, Mr. Speaker, is on the nicotine volume levels. Yes, Part 14B. A person shall not manufacture or place on the market nicotine pouches unless nicotine content of pouch does not exceed 10 milligram and such. Mr. Speaker, I agree with the mover on this because 10 milligram per milliliter of nicotine is a small amount. But when this amount is more, it's a lot, then it will make the smoker be able to, inhale more, and actually by the end of the day will have inhaled a lot than maybe he or she intended to. But when it is at 10 milligram per milliliter of nicotine, then it is a lesser amount. The cost, of course, will be high, because the manufacturers will have to package it at that 10 mg. And then, so the cost of production will also be high. But who are we taking care? We are taking care the end user. So the cost is higher. So you find that the purchase will also be minimized. Unlike when it is more, when it is 20 and above, you'll find that the cost definitely will be minimal, Mr. Speaker. As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, the regulations as far as the pouches are concerned, the pouches that are being used should not be disposable, because disposable products will be easy to find in the market. The cost of a disposable material is less, so it makes the product even lesser. But non-disposable are expensive. So the higher the cost of this particular product, the lesser the accessibility to market. The other issue, Mr. Speaker, is the issue of hawking, the issue of online sales, the issue of advertisement. As we speak today, the Tobacco Act is very clear that tobacco should not be advertised. It's against the law. So what makes it different with the e-cigarette, which still has nicotine? It should not be advertised. There should not be online sales. There should not be hawking of this particular product, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, we will not be sorting the problem. We will be encouraging the young people easy access for this product, online delivery and all that, Mr. Speaker, for this particular product. It should be restricted the same way the traditional cigarette right now as we speak is very restricted. The smoking areas, Mr. Speaker, I've seen, she has stipulated very well. We don't smoke in the public, churches, even here in this particular chamber. It doesn't happen. There are designated places and areas. The same should apply. Because we see on the road, you are walking in the streets of this beautiful country, the capital city of Nairobi, the one that I represent, Mr. Speaker. And you see someone removing a small, beautiful, nice gadget that looks like a lip gloss for us ladies. Someone sniffs something, puts it back, and just what you just sing on the air, Mr. Speaker. It is smoke that is just left on the air. So the areas for smoking should be adhered to, should be designated as required. And so I think with those many few remarks, I hope I haven't, yes, let me finalize on the issue of NACADA. I agree with what Senator Collegue spoke about in terms of NACADA. All these things should not be left to the Ministry of Health. Ministry of Health has a lot to do. We have the issues of share that are happening. We have the killings that are happening in Kenyatta National Hospitals, which we are totally condemning, and many other things that the Ministry of Health, as we speak today, is trying to streamline, Mr. Speaker. Yesterday, I had a statement trying to question whereby we have the county staff still working in their private clinics. The HA should be in this public hospital, and they are paying their salary. So that work should be some responsibilities, some duties should be done by NACADA board. They should be there to be able to assist in terms of ensuring that these policies are implemented. I know this bill coming from the Senate, there are county issues whereby the county offices should be able to have offices that help in the licensing. That is also revenue to the counties, and also it narrows down as far as at the county level is concerned. With those many and few, Mr. Speaker, I fully support and congratulate Senator Kathy for this great bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Next is Senator William Kisang.
Thank you.